All right, here we are. Cue the music. You've done it. Congratulations. It's time to celebrate. You've gone through the program. Hope you've done the exercises. And I also hope you've been applying them, holding yourself accountable, adapting them as part of your leadership, join the group sessions, etc. But before we close out, I just want to do a final program overview and just celebrate a little bit. So what did we cover as part of this program? Our guiding principle that good patterns make success probable. So in our efforts, we will execute things, we will iterate on things, but if we can get to the point of our execution while designing it and while executing it, that the probability in terms of the number of times that we execute it will be successful. That ultimately drives that consistency of success. And it's all about creating these top performing patterns. I've also anchored everything and repeatedly talked about the presentation, the concept of value, the two types of value that we create. Value is created from the use of the things that we create and people and ourselves getting outcomes from it, as well as the experience of working with us. And there's different stages of value. There's the input, the data that we take in, the context. There's the work, the effort that we put in, the throughput. There's the tangible deliverables that we create, the outputs. And then there's the outcome. So the experience of working with us, as well as the use of the deliverables to achieve some type of result. We also anchored in reliability, which is connected to probability. So from a board standpoint, or the career gatekeepers, stakeholders, customers, clients, our ability to consistently deliver success. How do we do that? Well, that's grounded in habits. We need to create the right habits in order to increase the probability of success and also the reliability of success. So the more times that we execute, what is the percentage of those executions that help us to drive success, that help us to drive execution, and being very purposeful in the habits that we select. And specifically in this program, like why the 6 habits? Because I structured 6 habits based upon my experience, what's led me to be successful, what I've seen others use to be successful, from my research side and from my studies, what is successful that will help you to be successful so that you can take those learnings and get those career and compensation catapults that you may really desire as part of your professional life, and maybe not have to go through a couple decades of experience to learn these things and then figure it out and apply it. So I hope this accelerates, and I'm 100% confident that it will accelerate your transition, your transformation into an executive that is transformational, is inspiring, that is confident, that leads to these exemplary outcomes. So you can always refer back to these 6 habits. And what were the 6 habits? So the first habit is all about empowering ourselves and understanding the right patterns for ourselves. Well, these 6 habits that we created, understanding the different motivations that we need to apply, and the types of motivations, the definitions of motivation, so sustained and transient motivation. And it's also about accessibility. So the difficulty of the task, making it easier, breaking it into smaller steps, understanding the things that we control, understanding that commitment creates freedom, leveraging all these aspects, motivation and accessibility, to create the desired behaviors that we want, and stacking those. And then applying those same principles not only to ourselves, but to our team members. So to help them find the leadership opportunities, to help mentor them, to help drive the team towards success through these motivation and accessibility levers, and creating the patterns within them as from your standpoint of being a leader. And once we develop that capability, when we're able to work in this way, we're able to have this time quality and time quantity, we got to make sure we're driving towards the right targets. So how do we pick the right targets? And I gave you an approach for doing that, making sure you're picking things that meet and exceeds the expectations of your stakeholders, your career gatekeepers, so that you know where to focus. How does that align to your aspirations? How does that align to the roles that you want to become? The next habit that we focused on, this is like the effort or the throughput habit, is your ability to effectively scale your execution. We've talked about proactive time management, reactive time management, some applications of proactive time management, understanding that proactive time management isn't just a series of tasks, it's about becoming the role that you want to be in designated times and prioritizing things that you can do to become that role within those time periods. In habit number 5, we focused on, you've got a great strategy, you've proved it out. Now bring it to another part of the business so that you can have direct and indirect leadership, scale your scope, scale your scale, and get a larger impact by working through others. And then a crescendo, building to all of it. Habit number 6, you're putting all this work in, finding your targets, learning how to empower your teams, empower yourself, and scaling your execution, scaling it even across the entire business by leveraging your strategies and the frameworks. But don't give up on the finish line. Make sure you're communicating your value and make sure you're communicating in a way that creates an experience that builds your leadership brand and creates value in itself. So congratulations. You've gone through 30 sessions, 30 recorded sessions. Hopefully you've gone through the group sessions as well from a mentorship perspective, done the exercises. If not, go back and do them and apply what you've learned. Like, this is all about repetition, the right habits to get that scale, to drive that transformation in yourself and others, to pull on the levers of motivation, accessibility. Ultimately, what I presented to you today is, and throughout the entire program, is not a checklist that you should have off on the side and be like, oh, I did this, I did this. Bring in things as needed. And over time, it'll become intuitive to you. This will just accelerate that process for you. Ultimately, you want to get to a point where you actualize these things in real time, and that's what's going to set you apart. We talked about decision-making and leaders' capabilities to make decisions based upon small pieces of information and in real time. That's an example of that. As you practice these things and build it into your leadership practice, it's called a leadership practice. So you want to do things to get better at it. It will become intuitive. You'll be able to do these things in real time. I don't sit with a checklist and go, did I do that? Did I do that? Did I do that? I might remind myself sometimes and look through things to get a refresher, but I don't attend meetings with a checklist of these 30 things. Also, be kind to yourself. It's going to take time to make these things a habit. If you fall off, if you forget, just come back, choose one thing to focus on. Remember, one thing, get some success, build some momentum, build some motivation. It's a very circular pattern. Leverage it. And you've gone through a lot, like, celebrate it. Through these recorded mentorship sessions, we've gone through over 30 plus slides, over 10 hours of materials. And I hope you've had the opportunity to attend the group sessions as well. So I just want to close with a very heartfelt thank you. Thank you for investing in me. Thank you for going through this program. But more importantly, it's about the investment in you. And I'm glad that you made that for yourself. I'm glad that you saw the opportunity and you didn't create an opportunity cost in not doing this. What you have done in this program is the greatest gift that you can give to yourself, especially from a leadership standpoint. Your leadership is going to be built upon the experiences you're going to be able to cultivate for yourself. The knowledge helps you to get there. This program helps you to get there. It's one of the main things about the program. It's about making sure you get the experiences that are going to get you to where you want to be and be that transformational leader. Most leadership development programs within companies and mentorship sessions don't really bring these things together. It's very situational. So please apply this acceleration, make it happen, get the experiences that you need to be what you want to become. And the one thing that I would ask you, I know this is transformative. If there are others that you feel can benefit, please let them know about this program and have them set up some time with us and take part in the program so that they can get that acceleration for themselves in their career as well. So what's the last action item? Of course, we end things with something to do. You remember you took that pre-program assessment to see where you were in certain areas. Now go back and take the post-program assessment and look at the results to see what you have learned. And I'm willing to bet that some of those things have significantly changed. Well, thank you very much. This has been an extreme pleasure of mine. I love doing this work. I love being able to take what I've learned in my experiences and creating a framework, a program that can be applied to your career, and that you can benefit from some of the things it's taken me many years to learn and synthesize and put together and to use to accelerate my career, so that they accelerate your career and you're able to become that transformational executive. You're able to inspire, you're able to do things with confidence, and you're able to generate those exemplary outcomes that show consistency and success, and people wanting to pick you for those leadership opportunities. Thank you very much. This has been one of the real true pleasures of my career and my life to impart this onto you. Now take it and adapt it, make it your own, and change the trajectory of your career and your life. And I wish you much success, and please stay connected. Take care.